In 1986, I had the pleasure of getting on the Flames on 2 and 7. That's one reason why I moved out to Calgary from Ontario, because the 2 and 7 had the Flames midweek hockey rights. And I thought, gee, this could be my opportunity. A couple other guys beat me to it before, Jim Van Horn and Ron McLean, but when Ron left, then I moved in there. So I got to travel with Ed for about 15 years, from 1986 to 1999. So I guess that's not quite 16 years, but something like that. So I got to know him traveling in taxis and airports and waiting and all this kind of stuff. And that's where I think you really get to know people. And again, he was still kind. Here's the first thing I noticed when I got on an airplane from Toronto. In Calgary, we're going to Toronto because we got a hockey game somewhere in the east. And I get on the plane, I put my Walkman on, and I would put my music, and I'd get my newspaper. We read newspapers and listened to Walkmans back then, and kind of hibernate and do homework on what the game was going to be all about. Ed wouldn't do that. Ed would be sitting there, how you doing? He would, how you doing? And people knew him, but not everybody knew him. But he commanded the room. Oh, yeah. He took over that airplane, and while I was quietly hibernating in my own space, Ed was talking to people. And not just for like a minute, but for a long period of time. And he would engage in conversation. So that's the first thing I noticed there too. Funny story on an airplane though. We were coming back from a game in the east, so taken off in Toronto, got to get back to Calgary. It's a Friday, and we're in the air. We're halfway to Calgary, and Ed's fidgeting. Ed was kind of not a nervous guy, but he was always, when he chewed gum, he'd always doing this kind of stuff. He always was, he's always on, he's always moving around. But this particular time, he was fidgety, and maybe I was a little hungover this day on the flight home. I don't know, but he was pissing me off, and I kept on saying, Ed, what's wrong? It's okay, kid. I'm okay. Okay. So later into the flight, he's still fidgeting and nervous and just kind of, mannerisms that were kind of just bugging me sitting beside him. Finally, he says, kid, I got to get back to Calgary before 5. I said, well, we might make it. He goes, I said, why? He goes, he points to his head. And he says, I got to explain to you. I got to get back to the tape shop for my wig before it closes, or I won't have any tape and keep my hair on for the weekend. It'll be closed. And I just had a big laugh. The poor guy. And then I had some empathy for his nervousness, even though it sounded funny that if he had to go bald for the whole weekend, poor Eddie. So that was a memorable flight. Again, this might not be as funny, but we were in Vancouver, stuck on the tarmac on a charter flight the Flames had, stuck on there for 4 hours. And so now we're all getting kind of antsy, but Ed is just kind of moving around a lot, and he started falling asleep, but I guess he wanted to cover himself, and so the window shade, he accidentally pulled that off, and he has a blanket. It was kind of, and everybody, holy crap, look at that Ed. So that's kind of some traveling stories with Eddie that stick in my mind.
Everyone has a story. It's time to tell yours.